Our 2022 champion, Giovanni Rubio, in the number 10 car will start from pole today alongside Lotus Coughlin in the 72 machine. Third rolling start of the season. First was at Sonoma, second was at the BeamSPORTS Motor Park. Today, the third will be at one of the most renowned maps in BeamNG.drive. We will not be doing a lot of crashy smashy today, hopefully, but we will be doing a race for the third year in a row. We are underway here at the Car Jump Arena. A great start from that number 10 machine of Giovanni Rubio. He sprints out front as they head down into corner number 1. These long straights, especially this one, have been cause for carnage in the past. But it looks like everyone made it off the line okay. There was a little bit of contact further back. That's why we saw that massive lag spike on stream. Everyone seems to have managed to keep it going, though, in the right direction. And here is one of the most interesting parts, if not the most interesting, in the entire track. These drivers have to brake, even though they're going in a straight line, so that they don't catch air over that hump that we've seen so many times, especially during the first year here. But it's not a problem now. Giovanni Rubio and Lotus Coughlin start to pull away from second position, or from third position, excuse me. Shoko Makinohara, and here comes Lotus Coughlin to the inside in the heavy braking zone. Coughlin tried to make that move work, and it almost did. She's now getting another bit of a run here. They're alongside each other now as they head across the bridge section, or the entrance to the bridge section. And these drivers have to watch out for those curbs today. They may not look like much, but they will grab you if you get too close. You're absolutely right. We've seen that in the past as well. This track is very, very grueling. Even though we've been running at this track for only 3 years, or this will be the third year, this track has claimed a lot of victims. Just in the first 2 years alone, 14 DNFs. And mind you, 9 of those came from the first race here. But still, five is a lot of DNFs last year, even though they had some experience, as the number 10 of Giovanni Rubio will lead the first lap coming down the front stretch here. And look at this in the braking zone. After just 3 laps, the Itasha racing car is caught up to the back end of the 72. And what a move there to the inside coming out of the final corner. That was a great move. Lotus Coughlin and the 53 machine still side by side, but now completely clear as Lotus Coughlin heads in behind Maki Kitagawa, who's still trying to block those runs from happening from the 72 machine. And now she's setting sight on the first position car, which is Giovanni Rubio, which has not changed since the first lap. Rubio's still out front as they head into corner number 1. And down to the big hill here. They will head into the braking zone. Question is, will the 53 be able to outbrake the 10? It looks like she did just a bit. And now Giovanni Rubio getting chomped down on by that 53 machine, the Itasha racing car. I think you're exactly right. The Itasha racing car just behind, looking for the outside move. And will it stick? It will! What an incredible move for the lead by Maki Kitagawa, and she takes it on lap number 4. And here's another look at this move. Incredible move, especially to be making this early into a race, and especially to be making here, of all places. Here's another look. This should be very interesting. You can see, even though these drivers are slowing down, they still get a bit of air over the hill here. Giovanni Rubio actually gets the braking down pretty well. Not a lot of time gained here. They hit the rev limiter as they head down into corner number 2. And right here, the 53 out brakes and just drives through the corner. Gets a much better exit and sets sail in the first position. How about that? Maki Kitagawa still about half second ahead, but look who has closed the gap for the third position. Knocking on the door of a podium is Shoko Makinohara in the number 7 machine as they head up the hill. And still 1, 2, 3 in this group is Rubio, who started on pole, Coughlin, who started inside pole, or I guess you would call it outside pole, even though she started on the inside, and the number 7 machine of Shoko Makinohara who has actually closed the gap to the number 72, and is going to make a run for this third spot. Side by side down the front stretch here. Almost a little bit of contact between the 72 and 7. Oh, wow, that's close. Close racing. The number 10 machine's trying to close off any draft that he can, even though they're not close enough for there to really be any draft. And the 7 goes through for the third position and final spot on the podium. Headed down into corner number 1. Makinohara. Oh, wow, got a really good run out of that corner. Now drafting up to the back of the number 10 machine. Headed into the braking zone. Will she make a move? Oh, wow, to the outside and around. The outside goes Makinohara and takes the second spot away. How about that move? That could have ended poorly, but luckily she kept it underneath her, and she's now in the second spot. Let's take a look at that entire situation, entire battle on board with the number 7 machine. These two ahead of her going in the wrong direction early here, but regardless, they're still in a podium and just outside the podium. Here's the move to the inside, same move that we saw the previous car pull on Lotus Coughlin, which was Maki Kitagawa, who's currently in the lead. And there was some close quarters racing there between the two. You can't really see it from this angle. But right now, 7 trying to defend from the 72, and watch how far she sends it into this corner and just gets the drive through the corner and the exit. And now she knows she has a run on the 10. Looks to the outside. The 10 covers it. She has to go into the braking zone. Lets off just a bit, and oh my goodness, that was so close. I cannot believe she didn't make contact there or get into the outside wall, because that car was probably 4 tires off the ground. Take another look here at the pass that was pulled off by this number 7 machine. See right here, the number 10 decides to defend that move that the 7 is trying to pull off to the outside. So Shoko Makinohara goes, okay, that's fine. I'll just make a move to the inside. You can see right here, she brakes early so that she can set up for the pass. And this will be a great angle to show the air that 7 car gets. She cuts to the outside. Oh, it's so close. Just clips the front wing and all 4 tires off of the ground there for a split second. But it lands back down on all 4s. And she manages to take the second spot away from our pole sitter, Giovanni Rubio. What a move that was by Shoko Makinohara. So this is a look at what caused our first full course caution of the day. So on board with Mason Drown. Ahead of him is Kyle Reed. Goes to the outside. Oh, it just makes a little bit of contact. The 2 go into the wall. Broken suspension for the Mason Drown car and crashes into the median, into the guardrails. Oh my goodness, and that's the rear engine and gearbox out of the 17 machine. So evidently he had a massive crash off screen there. This is on board with the Kyle Reed machine. From that first angle on board with Mason Drown, it looked like a racing incident. Kyle Reed is weaving just a bit. Mason Drown is there and just comes up just a little bit. Oh, and heavy contact. Lots of spins, maybe even a flip in there for Kyle Reed. And a massive, massive crash leaves both of those drivers out. And this shows you just how intense this racing series is. This is a battle for the 16th position, but every point counts in this series. And right there is just a bad circumstance between 2 drivers going for the same piece of real estate. The 17 gave Mason Drown a lane, but at the same time, Drown wasn't expecting the lane to close up that quickly. And right here is actually where the car splits in half, and you're going to see the 17 car goes high up into the air. The car is completely split in half, and then it impacts, I'm not sure what that is that a phone booth outside of the track? And that's what causes the spins. The main tub actually never flipped over. However, it went for multiple cartwheels in the air, multiple flat spins, lands on top of the guardrail, and its engine and gearbox, multiple flips. and landed right in front of the Mason Drown car. And a scary crash there for the number 17. Leaves both him and the Team Mount VPN car out of this race. Very early into this one. One more look at it here. You can see the 17 is blocking. Drown has a huge run, goes to the outside, and just makes a little bit of contact with the left rear. Sends both of them spinning. Oh my gosh, a massive hit for that 17 and the Mason Drown car. And there is the rear engine and gearbox of the 17 car bouncing into the shot. Kyle Reed and Mason Drown racing for the 16th position bring out the full course caution for the first time here today at the Car Jump Arena. We'll be back after these short messages. This is the battle for the 5th and 6th positions. William Tucker has caught the back of Fabio Brizza as they head into corner number 1. Almost side by side there. Oh, and William Tucker's going to get a run. He goes to the outside. Can he make the move? Oh my goodness, that's close. That's dangerous. And he pulls it off somehow. William Tucker into the 5th spot. It was kind of blocked by the sign initially, so he didn't quite see the entire move. Here's another look. This is headed into corner number 1. Goes to the outside. He's got to run now. He knows he can outbrake the 1 car. Into the dipper. Wow. And even though the front tires stayed on the ground, those rear tires absolutely did not. But what a move that was to secure the 5th spot for William Tucker. It should be very interesting to see where these two drivers come out. The 72 of Lotus Coughlin and the 10 of Giovanni Rubio were 3rd and 4th before the end of the last pit cycle. And they come out 3rd and 4th. But these two drivers are coming very, very fast. And will they pass them? Yes, they will. At least the 88 will pass. Oh, and 3 wide. Fabio Brizza through the middle takes the 4th spot away from the 2. And they set sail in the 3rd and 4th positions. What a move that was. Take another look on board during this exchange. These two drivers had already pitted, attempting the undercut. And you'll see the two drivers come out of the pits just there. They're not up to speed. Oh, and look at that move. An extreme defensive play from the CSS Motorsports car and the Fabio Brizza car, who takes them 3 wide and pulls it off. Goes into the 4th position. So this is on board with DeMarcus Fenhouse, the PMH Racing Machine. Oh, contact from the inside of a car that was trying to lap him. That was Wyman Malinovich. It goes over the guardrails in corner number 2. On board with the Malinovich car. Oh boy. Trying to pass the lapped car. Gets onto the brakes and the car just snaps around on him. Unfortunate accident for the both of them there. One last look at it here. Malinovich to the inside, gets under braking, and that car immediately snaps to the left. And then back to the right, overcorrects. Goes over the left front tire of the number 4 machine there. Soars skyward for a moment. Impacts the outside guardrail. And at this point he's along for the ride. Impacts a sign. And then a tree stops him in his tracks. Heavy contact for the 16 machine of Wyman Malinovich. We'll be back after these messages. This is the battle for the 6th spot between Iraha Igarashi and the number 10 machine, of Giovanni Rubio, who started on pole today. Igarashi has caught the back end of the number 10 car. And they're almost making contact as they head into corner number 1. Still tucked in behind. No, is the 14 as she makes a move to the inside. Oh my goodness, and the 10 cuts that off promptly. Igarashi has the faster car by far, though. So it should be interesting to see what she does here down into the braking zone in the hill. The Big Dipper, as we like to call it. The 10 not sparing any time as the 14 cuts to the inside. Down into turn 2. Igarashi alongside for a second there. The 10 once again cuts her off. Still just inches apart. And coming into the kink at turn 3 here. And up the bridge section. In this twisted oval. Can this 14 car make anything happen? Ducks to the inside for a second. Nothing there yet, though. 14 car looks to the outside. Still not enough of a run there. As they head up the steep slope. In turn 4. Then into the final corner at turn number 5. Can this 14 car mount a charge? Shoko Makinohara currently catching up to that number 53 machine as here comes a run to the inside by the 14 car. Iraha Igarashi looking for the 6th spot. Is she clear? Just barely. She blocks the 10 car. Headed into turn 1. Oh, the 10 squeezes. Will it be enough for the 14 to go through? Yes, it will be. Can she let it stick? Yes. Into the 6th spot goes the 14 of Iraha Igarashi. 1 lap remains. Maki Kitagawa in the 53. Shoko Makinohara in the 7. She pops out. These two have had a history. Remember that. Makinohara ducks to the inside. Will she have enough of a move there? No. Kitagawa holds on to the first spot, but here comes the 7 as they make contact into the guardrail. Just a little bit of contact there. And once again, the 53 squeezing. These two do not like each other. But the 7 scoots through into the first spot. And more contact between the two. And a little bit of contact. More like a lot of contact into those past couple of corners. A bit of a lockup from the 7. Throwing it all out there on the line, looking for a 5th win of the season. Maki Kitagawa looking to take the points lead back, or at least get a couple more points. She's not going to have the points lead regardless of where the 7 finishes, unless it's outside of the top 15. And it might happen here. These two are getting feisty at the front. Makinohara right up to the back of the 53 once again as they come across the bridge. Blocking is Kitagawa. They will come up the slow uphill section for the final time today, and they'll have to drive all the way down the front stretch to that second finish line that we talked about at the start of this race. Makinohara still chasing Kitagawa for that first spot. Kitagawa trying to cut off any draft that she possibly give that 7 car. As they come out of the final corner and down the front stretch, it'll be one final run for the 7 car as she goes to the outside. Looking for that move. Trying to confuse the 53. Will it be enough? Those blue billboards are what you're looking for. Coming to the line. It's going to be close. Maki Kitagawa will win. Oh, and contact behind. As the 7 throws it into the curb. Oh, and contact after the flag. Enough is enough, says the 7 car. Maki Kitagawa will win. And Shoko Makinohara will settle for a runner-up position. Take a look on board this the RedBull Jr car for this final lap. Goes to the inside. Oh, and there's the contact. that we heard Makinohara talking about. And look at how close they are. Headed into the braking zone here. And even more contact right there. As the 7 car just getting thrown around by the 53. And remember, she said before that she wasn't going to tolerate anything like that from Shoko Makinohara this race. And there wasn't a lot of that actually today from Makinohara. She drove a very clean race up until that final lap. But obviously, Kitagawa felt that Makinohara didn't race her clean or race her fair last weekend, and made it known for sure on this final lap. What an incredible battle regardless though between these two drivers. The RedBull Jr team, Shoko Makinohara once again looking for the title this year, looking to get it back to back, holds on to the title of winningest driver this season. But Kitagawa now with 2 wins on her resume. Grabs one here at Car Jump Arena. And this is the final run to the checkers. You can see the 53 still trying to break the draft regardless of if the 7's going to catch or not. She doesn't end up catching. This is where the contact happens with the curb. And then here, this is where the slowing down. And Makinohara gets into the back end of the 53. A little bit unnecessary, but we can understand the tempers after a long race such as that and having it end that way. What a race though.